Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I am going to be testing out the newly reformulated Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Matte Foundation. I was not aware that Lancome was reformulating this very popular foundation until I saw a post about it on Instagram. And I got really excited because while I did like the original Ultra Wear, I never was in love with it. I always found myself reaching for either Estee Lauder Double Wear or my Studio Fix Fluid over the Teint Idole for when I wanted a long wearing matte finish. By the way, for those of you that are new, I do have oily, mature skin. Please do keep that in mind as you're listening to this review. I hope that you will continue to watch though if you have dry skin, because I always talk about whether or not I feel like a foundation will work for combination to dry or dry skin. And you may also want to see the swatches. I went over to my local Dillard's department store yesterday to look for this foundation, and they were not selling it yet. They were doing a pre-sale, which was actually better because now I have several different shades. They gave me a bunch of samples to swatch for you and test out on my face. The rep for Lancome who was there, she was telling me how everyone was sort of struggling with the new shades, not the formula, but the shades, and converting people from their old Teint Idole shades to the new one. So the reason that she gave me so many samples was because she honestly wasn't sure which one I would ultimately like, because she didn't want to use the word oxidize, but she said that she had been finding that the shades darkened a little bit on people's skin after a few minutes. I understand why a rep for the brand wouldn't want to say oxidize, because in a lot of our minds that has a bad connotation. Like, why would the foundation change after it's applied? But we're gonna test it out. We're gonna see. I told her I would come back with some feedback for her. So I thought I would not only share my feedback with her, but with you all as well. I currently have nothing on my skin except for sunscreen and moisturizer. As you can see, I have my eye makeup done and my brows, but I have nothing on my face. It says here on the Lancome website about this new formula: our newly reformulated Teint Idole Ultra Wear Foundation continues to deliver exceptional buildable full coverage with a natural matte finish. It's still waterproof and sweat and humidity resistant. What's new is the formula's ultra breathability, powered by advanced airwear technology, giving you a flawless, undetectable finish with the added benefit of skin-loving ingredients like hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, moringa seed extract, and prebiotics. And it states in big bold letters that your previous Teint Idole shade will not be your new shade. So I'm going to swatch all of these on my face, beginning with 345N. And I always like to swatch a foundation right along my jawline, right here. So it's a little yellow and dark. Oh wait, I needed to start with 330N. I was gonna say, if the rest of them are darker, then we're in big trouble. But here's 330N. That's better. It's still dark. So 350N. Now for neutrals, these are all looking very almost greenish. I don't know how they're showing up on camera, but in my mirror, this one is just horrible. This one is very brown. This one has a little bit of a greenish tint to it. So I started off out of order with 345, which is this one. Then we went to 330, which is this one. Then this one was 350. And lastly, we have 360N. And this one might be the winner. It's still dark, especially on my neck. But the thing is, I don't know if you can tell, but I do have some leftover self-tan, and I do tend to have a fake tan most of the time in the spring and summer. So I do like to go a little bit darker, bring it down my neck, and match my chest. So while I would not purchase any of these colors, I am going to try on my full face the 360N. But you know what? Now that I sit here with this on, all 4 shades, I should have brought these down a little bit. Maybe the second one. This one right here. Maybe this one is the one I should try. So that was 330N, so the lightest numerically. Okay, I'm gonna go remove this. I'll give you one last shot of the swatches. And I'm going to apply this to my entire face. To apply the foundation, I'm using this dupe from Amazon for the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Brush number 7. So I'm shaking this up. Again, this is the 330N. And I'm applying little swipes. Now I'm taking the brush and blending it out. It does blend fairly easily. The color, yeah, it's not very good for me. I don't think, at least not in this lighting. It looks better on camera than it does here. I'm gonna have to look at it in natural light. But let me look at it up close just to see what it's doing as far as blending into my skin. Oh, it looks nice, that's for sure. And actually, yeah, I think it might be the lighting I was looking in. It looks all right. It is medium coverage because I'm still seeing a couple new breakouts that came out of nowhere. I'm seeing those right here. So let's do another little dab. And if you're new here, I do not know why I use my middle finger for a lot of things. I'm definitely not trying to flip anyone off. Yeah, it's building up. I actually think it's quite pretty. It's not accentuating my pores, and remember I didn't use any primer before this. It has a very nice soft matte finish. It's a nice foundation though, at least upon first application, first impressions. It's not thick, it doesn't feel cakey. I mean, they are claiming that it's very breathable. So that's what we're looking for. We want it to be breathable, but yet offer that coverage. And I'm very eager to see if it helps to control shine. And I just need a little bit more right here. These clips are in the way, but I have cowlicks that I need to tame. So they're serving 2 purposes. Keeping my hair out of my face and also taming those cowlicks. So we've got it on all over the face. What I'm going to do now is go into my bedroom, take my iPhone, stand in front of a big window, and show you footage of that. Then I'm going to put on my concealer and the rest of my makeup, show you some iPhone footage in natural light of that, and then do some check-ins throughout the day. But as of right now, I really like the way it looks. I think I did a good job blending it down my neck, so it looks very even as far as what I can see here and here, but we'll have to check it out in the natural light. But as of this moment, I'm pretty happy. This footage was taken right after I got up from filming. You can still see my skin texture and those breakouts I was talking about, but this is what real skin looks like without any filters. A foundation is not an airbrush. It can give you a nicer look to your skin, but powder, in my opinion, is really what makes the biggest difference, as you can see here. Once I've done the concealer and powder, the foundation looks beautiful. This was taken after 4 hours. You can see that other than a little bit of shine, the foundation looks exactly the same. Again, this was right after I filmed, so I had not used a primer on this day. This footage right here was taken at the end of the day after about 11 hours of wear, and I think it looks really, really good. If I remember correctly, I did powder once during the day, and obviously the lighting is a little different because the sun has gone down, but I think the foundation still looks really natural and beautiful. I have now been using this foundation for 5 days straight, and I can tell you with certainty that I will be purchasing the full size bottle. most likely in a different shade, because this one only works if I bring it down my neck and chest. And I don't always want to have to do that. I am going to try to find a shade that matches me a little bit better than the ones I tried. The bottles are very deceiving. They are frosted glass, the same exact packaging as last time, except the wording is different. So make sure that you are getting the new one that has the wording all along the bottom, like in my thumbnail, not what you see here. There is simply a learning curve with this foundation as far as getting your right match, especially if you've worn this foundation in the past. Just get color matched at a counter or at Sephora or Ulta, wherever you're going to purchase this product, and be sure you take a mirror to the natural light. And also maybe take a couple of photos with your phone, simply to have multiple ways to see if that is the right foundation shade for you. And hopefully you will come across a very nice rep or sales associate like I did, and they will make you a couple of shades to sample. And there's one more thing about the shade range I want to mention that I just saw on the Ulta website, because they have only recently put the new formula on the website. It says that with the deep shades, those were enhanced by the pigment ultramarine blue, resulting in pure deep shades without a gray cast. For olive skin tones, the pigment chromium oxide green were used to create shades that aren't too yellow or orange. So that is where I was getting that green from that I mentioned when I swatched them along my jawline. That is most definitely for someone with a much more olive skin tone than I have. However, from what it sounds like, they really did try to have a shade for everyone in this 50 shade range. By the way, the foundation retails for $57 for 1 fluid ounce. If you thought that the Teint Idole Ultra Wear was too much coverage originally, you're not going to like this one. The new one 100% has more coverage. I also find it to be longer wearing. Yes, this one was long wear, but the new formula, I have worn it for 12, 14 hours and it still looks really, really good. I have been using it now with a primer. I've been rotating the primers I use, trying to figure out which one I like best. Today I have used it with the Cali Ray So Blown Blurring Primer, and I am just loving the look of it. And when I look in the mirror, really, really close up, there's no cakiness, there's no patchiness. I am just truly loving this new formula. And they've taken out the SPF 15. That might bother some people. It doesn't bother me, and it shouldn't really bother you because you should be using a much higher SPF under your foundation anyway. I do feel like this formula lives up to its claims of being transfer resistant, because I have taken off clothing and put on clothing while having this foundation on, and it has gotten on nothing. I haven't tried the white shirt test where I put my face up against a white shirt or anything like that. The formula also remains waterproof and sweat-proof. It is now more breathable, so it feels less heavy on the skin. It also has those skin-loving ingredients that I mentioned earlier in the video, like hyaluronic acid, moringa seed extract, and it has that natural matte finish. So I think I can wrap this video up in a nice little bow, and even though I've already said it, I will say it one more time just to close this out. I will be purchasing the full-size bottle of this foundation. I think if you have combination to oily skin, you're going to love it. I think if you have slightly dry skin, you will most likely enjoy it as well, because it is not a flat matte. As you saw in my check-ins, my natural oils definitely came through. And if you have very, very dry skin, I'm not so sure. I just think that you might not be happy with the level of coverage that this has, but I can't say for sure. You could always try shearing it out with a damp beauty blender or just using a tiny amount. I love that Lancome gives these 10-day samples because it's the best way to try a foundation. If you have any more questions at all, please do not hesitate to leave them for me in the comments. I will try to answer as many as I can. If you did enjoy this video, I really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up and perhaps sharing it with a friend. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, please do hit that subscribe button and join the Risa Does Makeup family. I do upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me over on TikTok and Instagram. The username is the same everywhere. It's all Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.